Paul, JUDY'S Starr, what was your verdict on the first up run, all things considering missing the start and whatnot?
Yeah, it was very difficult to make up ground that day, and the jock reported, he said he picked up and quickened in the straight, but it was just too far off them. So, from a nice low gate, better start, we should get a better result.
How's he trained on since? He's had a gallop on Thursday?
Yeah, no, his work's been fine. He's only a young horse. He doesn't require a lot of work, so I expect him to be pretty competitive.
A lot of new horses in the race. Where would you like to see him posied up with the lack of exposed form?
Well, I think he's sort of horse that likes to get balanced up and run home. When he's been sent forward on a couple of occasions, he's looked a little bit one-paced. When we've trialled him and sat back, he's really picked up well. So, if he could slot in midfield, that would be close enough.
This being a Class 4 restricted race, does it give you the confidence he might be able to run a big race?
Yeah, well, I haven't had a study of the opposition, but as you say, there's a few new ones there, and you just don't know, the strength of the race. But I think he should be pretty competitive.
Caspar ENFOLDING on the dirt. No doubt he's been a little bit frustrating in his 16 runs, not getting past the line.
Yeah, well, he's raced really well since I've had him. He's every run he's really put in and run 5 seconds and a third for me, and looks to be very consistent. It's maybe 4 seconds and a third, sorry. Very unlucky the other day, going in when he should have come out and would have got the job done, but that's racing. Hopefully he's got one more good run in him. He's been up for a while, but he's been racing really well, and gate 3, he'll make his own luck. He's not a real on-speed horse, but he'll probably be midfield and just leave it to Zach, yeah.
That trouble he got into in the straight, and I guess the pattern of the race went against him last start.
It did, yeah. It's just unfortunate, because that was a race that it looked like he could have got the result on, but that's racing, like I said. So we just look forward to the next race, and hopefully he can bring another a good performance.
Trained on okay since?
Yeah, he's fine. He looks well. He's in good condition, and again, it's one of those races where they're competitive. They are what they are, and he's in there with a chance. So I'm sure he'll be close.
Harking back to last weekend, Southern Legend winning the Sasa Ladies Purse, no doubt a big thrill for the team.
A big thrill for the team, yeah. The horse has been a level of consistency through his career in Hong Kong. He's done really well for us, but it had been a while since he'd won a race in Hong Kong, 18 months, but he deserved that win, coming off 2 good prior races from the start of the campaign. And now we look forward to his next run and then on to December. So he's in good form. He's pulled up well, and got a course record on the way, so it's good, all going well.
Paul, Sacred IBIS in the last race, what happened last time out, got to the start and there was just a few issues?
Yeah, he had some blood coming out one of his nostrils. We scoped him afterwards. It wasn't a bleed from the lung, of course. He must have sustained some sort of knock to the nose there somewhere, but the vets couldn't put it down to anything, so rightfully they pulled him out and we're having another go.
He's had another trial up at Chung Fa. Was that just a maintenance piece to keep him ticking over, and were you happy with that? Yeah,
it was a twofold thing. One was a maintenance thing, but the other one, you'd like to sort of put him under some sort of pressure to make sure it's not going to bring him back here to Sharton and reoccur. And he trialled well, pulled up well, so he's got a lot of weight and a little bit of an awkward gait, but if there's speed in the race, he'd be finishing well.
Good course and distance record, fresh record as well, so confident of a bold showing?
Yeah, he's his last couple of runs last year, he just didn't want to tack onto the field at all. He's sort of horse who lasts about 7 or 8 runs and then his form does taper off, but as you say, he's got a good fresh record, he's fitting well, so we'd be looking for a bold showing.
John, a 5-pronged assault on the Panasonic Cup this year. Let's start with Champions Way. How's he come back in first as a 4-year-old?
He seems okay. He did a remarkable job as a 3-year-old, and he got to a very high figure doing that. But to come back and run up to that mark will be a good effort. He seems okay. He's had a couple of trials. He's healthy and well and sound, and I think he can go to the races and run well.
You mentioned getting to a high mark on 108. Did it surprise you what he did through his first season, that he was able to get to those lofty heights?
Yeah, sure. He looked like a pretty smart horse when he started to race, but after a few runs, he gave the impression that he actually wasn't a sprinter, and that he'd appreciate a bit more distance, and that's what he did. He went on with it. So he's been very pleasing for everybody.
What's sort of the main ambition over the next sort of 3-4 months with him?
Well, he'll go on the Derby Trail, and he'll follow those races unless he proves that he can't run any further than a mile. So there's not much on for him in December. So I'll give him one run at least in November. So he's done some work and hasn't had too much time away from racing. and then he'll go in the first of the 4-year-old series in the middle of January.
Nothing I like more. How do you feel he's gone in his first 2 runs back?
He hasn't sort of done very well, but he's been racing the Group 1 horses, so it's a little bit hard to get a guide on it. When he comes back to this class with the top weight being 110, I mean, it's a completely different world. So hopefully he'll perform a bit better in the lower grade.
Touching on Red Warrior, the only horse to beat Champions Way last season, how's he come back?
Yeah, well, he's got a feather in his cap there. He is the only horse to beat Champions Way. He's still getting ready. He's not quite fit enough. He looks in good shape, but I think he'll need racing to get him to his best.
And the other 2 were Time to Celebrate resuming, and Gunnison coming back for another run again.
Well, Time to Celebrate's he's in tremendous form. You know, when you see him at the races, he looks fantastic. But he's on 107, and that might be all he's capable of. But his health and his well-being is quite good. Gunnison, he might struggle at the 1400. I'm not sure how he'll run that out. But it shouldn't be a terribly fast run race, so he'd get comfortable at some stage and see if he can run a bit further. But he's on an awkward mark also. So they're all just the 110 and less handicappers at the moment, you know, trying to win a race in Class 1.
Karis, happy Sebring. Talk us through that last win, because it was some performance from last.
Yeah, that's his style of racing. He likes to be left alone and make his run start, to make his run on top of the straight. I just thought last time, you know, the pace was on and there was a few horses taking off pretty early, so there was no point for me to go around them. So I said, well, I have to take a chance through. Luckily, we squeezed through and got a run, and I was actually surprised how he quickened up again and won a nice race.
He's tried 2,000 metres before, beaten 2.5 lengths into 6th. The pace might be questionable. Would that be a concern with his racing style?
I think now I know that this horse, how to ride him. I think before, you know, we were just trying to place him or get him into the race. But his style of racing is now, you could see, just to leave him alone and let him do his own thing. And when time is ready, he will let down himself.
He's on a mark now of 71, a career high. Do you think he's still got a few rating points up his sleeve?
Yes, I think so. The way he's been winning, you would think even if you go up class, there should not be a problem. I'm not too worried with the distance or anything. I think the horse is going well, and I'm pretty confident on him.
Another good winner on Wednesday night for Chris So. Wonderful Tiger. Good, no doubt, to have that momentum going forward into the big races.
Yeah, of course, things are going well, like we all want, and of course this horse, Wonderful Tiger, has done well. He's dropped a lot down the rating, but to get 2 win with a horse like him is pretty good.